Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of Trading Fibs to bring you the daily trend for the end of week 25, 2016, June 24th. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, end of the week, week 25. That's right, it was all about Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. We are out, sending the markets flying. It really didn't matter what econ data we had for the day, finishing up on Friday as we had durable goods, consumer sentiment, and rig count. But that's right, it was all about the EU and Brexit, sending our markets flying starting Thursday night in the U.S., watching the markets just ripple all over. A lot of volatility as markets finally settled. Markets coming to a stall as the markets dropped pretty significantly, and then price action picking back up, lifting upside, only to finish back to the downside. All right, finishing up the week here though, 28 setups overall. Big week, 1,500 ticks net. Most of those on the NQ, having an awesome week on the ES there on the Brexit vote. I'll show you what you could have done to actually throw a line and try to ride the wave there on Thursday night. So take a look at actually, let's go to the Thursday Friday overnight session. Actually, I posted an additional post. There were two markets, two setups I was able to get in on the NQ and the ES. Look at that, 298 ticks running two contracts all the way down. I'll show you how that was done. So taking a look at the Thursday, this was a close at the Thursday session. Market pretty much for the overall week was to the upside. And you would have thought that the vote was going to go one way, and went the other way as price action came back down. Here we see the entry on the ES that fished out 298 ticks. That's right, 2-tick entry here. All you had to do, that's right, all you had to do was go to that higher time frame. Missed the first entry based on just the price action quickness, and so go to the higher time frame and you're able to ride it down. For keeping yourself in mind, the 50 below the 144 technical momentum was downside, no question about it. Finally, at some point, even though it did still come down even some more, just getting a piece of the pie. There was one of the setups there on the NQ, looking at the multiple moving average, multiple time frames. Again, just looking for the trend. A lot of chop, but hey, all across the board, NQ, ES, and YM all the way down. 4 charts in the red. Pick your index, pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick them all. It was all about staying in the trend, and so there was our overnight session. Again, 50 below the 144, technical momentum, keeping you in the trend. You can see very nice fade right off the 50 EMA. What we use on an intraday basis is, again, to keep out the noise of when price action gets really quick and volatile. You just go to a higher time frame, 3 minutes on the 5144 instead of the 10-tick range chart. Going to a 20-tick range chart did us well. All right, as we rolled into Friday, not too bad, just a piece of the pie for Friday. 2 markets, 9 setups, the majority of those being on the NQ, a little bit easier to trade. 367 ticks, which really boosted those numbers up for the day. Again, like I said before, watching the price action on a bigger time frame kept you in the trend a little bit easier for Friday session, where volume was just out of the park. Here we see again, what does volatility look like? Here's towards the end of the close of the session. Price action really runs it up and bang, right back down. So you had to be ready in both directions every day. All right, market as it opened up at the Friday open, regular trading hours. Buyers looking for value, they got what they wanted, and there it was. Price action to the upside, complete opposite direction of market internals. Finally, market with 11 trends for the day, 10 of those to the downside. Price action, you can see, much easier to get into once it turned around. 4 charts in the red, and there were some of the better trades of the day. NQ again just getting a little piece of the pie even to the upside, even though market internals were face the other direction. Again, finally market there it is. Trend number 6 of the day is price action here on the NQ facing downwards, finding a place to take off a contract, and then as chop and price action crossing the T350. But looking at the 3 charts in the red and then the 2 higher time frames on the right, where price action was holding underneath the T350, higher probability set up to the downside. Let's take a look at the AD line for the session. Price action again, we saw that up move in the first, what was it, 35, 40 minutes? Yeah, there it is. Price action was running up, AD line coming down, market internals in opposite direction. What do? Well, you just go with it. If you got 4 charts in the green, yeah, you take a little piece of that, but again, price action for the most part, AD lines coming down and shoot straight across. Let's jump right in. Let's go to the 5-minute charts. Here we go. Price action again on the crude, running all the way up to about the average high, sticking to the 25-minute open range for just a little bit and finishing out at today's open. Crude also having a nice move overnight. We're back in the mid 47s. There it is. All 3 indices to the upside move in the first 45 minutes of trading. Finally peaking out here, 25-minute open range high, and never looked back and came all the way back down. Gradual, nothing easy on the way down. You got value seekers looking to obviously find value, and price action finding itself a little bit of respite here today at today's open, and then finally finishing out at the lows. All right, let's jump into the daily trend charts. Take a look at how we did. Taking a look at crude here. Price action on the crude again. A little bit easier over. Had a lot of volatility overnight. You can see price action here towards the end of the session, peaking out at the high 48s as we tapped 50 again this week. But here it again, not finding an easy entry on crude. You're looking for as many charts in sync, and there it was about lunchtime trading there with 4 charts in the red and 4 charts at the red towards the end of the session. Everything here a little bit riskier. You could have said you had a little piece here upside, but didn't hold on for much as price action lifted upside. Taking a look at the YM again, YM with its volatility overnight with some good trades, good setups, but again, here's the majority of the trade, 50 below 144 on the red bar at the bottom. Here you go, significant re-entry, sell signal, sell signal. Now, if you took the first entry, which probably would have been over here, you would have simply placed the stop at the swing size high. You could have ran this down, but again, not my trading management to let it run up that high and take out my break-even entry. So you just look for the re-entry, early re-entry, or you look for the signal. Taking a look at the NQ price action again, same story to the downside. As you can see, price action holding up. A little bit easier to trend down. It really didn't come down and take out those break evens. So whether you decide to come out or not, the high probability entry was there with 4 charts in the red, looking really good. And finally, price action in the afternoon getting a little bit of a push down towards the end of the close. Take a look at the ES. Obviously, same picture again. There was pre-market. I'm sorry, not pre-market. Actually, market open. You can see the push up, finding value up here, holding up at the high here, and then price action ripped to the downside. Looking for the highest probability entries. 3 charts in the red, 4 charts in the well. You had a little bit of there's a soft pullback right there on the 2 green candles there at about 12:11, and then you could have entered here or taken the next soft pullback here. We had 4 charts in the red, so not a bad day for the ES, but decided what a great night on the ES, let's not risk it, and kept all the ticks from the night before. Gold had an amazing night run up, over $100, 100 points upside, but again, for the most part, price action just chopped sideways in the mid-session, just small little pockets of all charts in the green. So gold finishing out in the 1300s. And then finally wrapping up here on the euro, which was all about the euro and the pound. Pound really dumping overnight. Price action holding upside. Here's a nice move, 4 charts in the green to the upside. All right, let's take a look at the, how about our fib projection levels? How do we do for the day? Let's take a look here. Bang! Both upside and downside. Price action again. You saw that early move way past the fib level. Target high here, 43.20, came back down. Same picture on the YM and the ES, hitting both levels. Let's go to the daily gap here again. We've got open gaps all around for that price action overnight. finishing to the downside. ES actually closing out a former gap here at 2039.75, so we do have a closure there. Do we have gaps to the upside and downside? Absolutely. Just take a look at it. There it is, 924 to the downside, and as well 4017 here on the NQ, and ES all the way down to 1860.75. Crude both directions. Lowest first open gap would be downside 4024, but again, we've been pretty much chopping both ways here. All right, take a look at the volume profile. Again, Fibonacci 600-day VPOX here. You can see 805, 4290 down here, 2093.50 upside. Again, pretty good magnet here. Looking for safety. NQ finds it in the 4290, and still YM upside and ES upside, but crude finding its respite here at 4830. Let's take a look at the daily big pick here on the crude price action. Again, 50 above the 144, just barely by a hair. T3 moving averages coming back down here as we see the Heikin-Ashi bar. So crude on a little bit of a downtrend here on a 4-hour chart. Indecision time as we chop here at the former fib extension and the 50 period moving average. As we look ahead to the week, again, you always want to be ready intraday session in both directions, but the crude, again, price action right now in a downtrend. Wait for that 51.44 to cross, and we have a confirmed downtrend again. And then wrapping it up on the three indices, as we can see price action as we lead into next week, we are down underneath the 200 period moving average on the NQ, all back downside, as we did have a crossover here on the 51.44 on both the NQ and ES and the YM downside. T3 moving averages all back downside, but yeah, there was Thursday's session with a nice little up move. Watch the 200 period moving average as we move into Monday. As I said, look at the volume there on Friday. Really, really nice volume. All right, guys, like I say each day, always be ready in both directions. Oh, one other chart I wanted to pop up here, kind of slid by me. There was that NQ when we were talking about the NQ. Always be ready in both directions, guys. Always look on multiple time frames. That helps out as well, using all indicators. Fibonacci extensions you can see here as well. Nice little move down to the fib projection level this week, 51.44. Doesn't take much when we have a really nice trending day to ride it down, or at least look for re-entry. So another reaffirmation that if you got a bigger time frame in the downtrend, look for the entry on the smaller time frame. Watch your technical momentum, and you got a heck of a trade down to the bottoms. All right, little supplemental there. All right, as I said, this weekend, as we lead into next week, I can't tell you where we're headed on any given day. All I can tell you is watch the trade the charts in front of you. The key here is that gotta look over your charts. Increased time frame might have helped you out a little bit more instead of running away from the volatility. And markets can go in either direction, long-term, short-term. Short-term, as market will find value down here, know that there will always be counter trends, so don't get in your mind that the market should be in any given direction. Always be ready for both sides. As we lead into next week, taking a look at the econ data and end of the month, we got a couple of red star events, including GDP, and a shout out to Ken Bolkari, as each morning he sends out his morning thoughts there in your inbox, just to give you a little heads up on the macro point of view. I love reading that stuff, including his additional recipes. So again, shout out to Ken Bolkari on his morning thoughts. All right, that concludes an insight in today's state of the indices and daily trend for the futures. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs, and as always, I really do leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me, MNI charts, and I really do leave that bias at the door when trading. Have yourselves a blue zone weekend as we lead into next week, week 26. I have no idea where the market is headed next week. All I can do is be ready on every given day to go in both directions. However, big trend facing downwards now with the 50 below the 144 on the 4-hour chart. Make sure you come check out my futures, ETF, and market cap leaders this weekend as I go ahead and review a plethora of other charts, market cap leaders, key industries, industrials, and apply them to the T3 strategy. Take a look at where the trend is currently. Doesn't mean it's going to continue in that trend. Can always have a pullback. Make sure you check out the weekly supplemental Technical Momentum Outlook. There it is, 97 pages of fun, including charts, etc., to keep you in the possible trend. Have yourselves a Blue Zone weekend, as they say. Good day, good night, and good trading to you.